Long-term, Xbox is going to hit the singularity. What is the singularity? Well, the singularity, I can't take credit for that. That is by the one and only Jez Corden. And what he says the singularity is this idea that all of the Xbox apps, so the PC app, the Xbox interface on console, on handheld gaming that is coming in the future, will all be one. There will be no difference. A game on Xbox will be the same as a game on PC, etc., etc. He's a big power PC user. That's where he plays most of the games. I think that's where most of, honestly, the journalist class does play their games. I don't think very many of them actually play on console. I think they play, especially Xbox centric journalists or Xbox centric media. I think they play on PC. I think most games are coming out on PC. Why not play it on PC? That's probably the best way to experience it. But as someone who uses it as a power user, Jez Corden says that right now the Xbox app is pretty a mess, and he's asking why. And one of his theories is that it's because they're moving slowly towards that singularity. Because right now, for instance, the Xbox app on PC is showing Xbox games that aren't playable. Why are they showing Xbox games is his question. We're going to go over it, though. It's a pretty interesting article. I think he's correct here, honestly. But we'll go over it. We're going to discuss it. We're going to talk about it, what it means for the future. We also got a Star Wars trailer, a new Star Wars game from Respawn. It is turn-based, which is fascinating. I think it looks super cool. This may be the first Star Wars game that I personally have been interested in a long time. I know that there have been some good Star Wars games in the past. There have been more puzzle-style games that have come out of EA that I do think are good. They're a little bit lonely for me, a little bit platform-centric. That's not necessarily my style of game. Still, fantastic. I did jump in and play a few hours of each of them. But this one looks cool. I love the turn-based strategy style. I love what they're doing there. So we're going to take a look at the trailer. We're going to react to it. We're going to talk about it. And then last but not least, Atomfall, the developers of Atomfall have said, yeah, hey, guys, our Game Pass release has been a wild success for us. We love this. So we're going to go over that and button up our day there with that. Before we do, though, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. My name is X1 the Gamer. We drop videos like this all the time right here. Share us with your friends. Also, leave comments. Tell me what you think. What do I get right? What do I get wrong? Let me know in a constructive manner below. We do have a Discord. Come join us over on the Discord. Fantastic community there. And yeah, come join us. All right, let's jump into this. This is the news story that I'm talking about from Jez Corden, and I think it's interesting. I really do. He tends to write some interesting pieces, some thought-provoking pieces. Go shout him out. I will link this news story, obviously, in the description below. The Xbox app on PC is showing Xbox Series XS games. This is the title over at WindowsCentral.com. And Xbox One console games, and even Xbox 360 and Windows Phone games. Why? He says the Xbox app on PC is often criticized, but a recent update seems to have made things even worse. Why is it showing Xbox console games and Windows Phone games that haven't been updated in 50 years? It could be a hint of things to come. So we're going to skip all the way down here in this article to where he really gets into it. Here it is. Evidence of the grand singularity, question mark. You can see he has a ROG Ally handheld here, or what looks a lot like an ROG handheld there because it's Asus. We know that's the partner for the Xbox handheld that is coming later this year. Here's what he has to say. Microsoft's future Xbox hardware platform looks set to bridge the Xbox console and Windows gaming worlds more than ever before. Although we have yet to see the full reveal, there are hints. A recent Xbox concept art piece seemed to suggest Steam itself will get full Xbox app integration in the future. We actually covered that story here on this channel. There was a dashboard UI, and there were filters there where you could sort your library on what seemed to be your Xbox dashboard, and one of those filters was Steam games, which is fascinating, and I'm all here for it. I think that's fantastic. If possible, and if they can do it correctly to include PC games, to include Steam games, 100% on your console would be huge. This coincides with previous comments from Xbox lead Phil Spencer that he'd like to see third-party storefronts on Xbox console hardware. Xbox is also working with Asus on a handheld codenamed Kenan, which is its first foray into the form factor ahead of its own Microsoft-designed Xbox handheld. This is all about bringing Xbox console and Windows PC development together, where Xbox Play Anywhere is the default. Let me reread that. Where Xbox Play Anywhere is the default. Let me remind you, for those of you that may be new, Maybe you're new to Xbox. Xbox Play Anywhere is this idea that you buy your game once or you own your game once, you own it everywhere. So if I buy my game on PC, I can pick that up and play it on my phone. I can pick that up and play it on my handheld device. I can pick that up and play it on my console, go back to my PC, and I can play it anywhere. I own it once, I own it anywhere. Xbox Play Anywhere. My saves count not just on one device, they're saved in the cloud so I can pick up and play anywhere. It is the future of gaming. I think everybody's going to go to this model. I think it's inevitable. And if Xbox can do it first and make it unanimous across all devices, they're going to be at a huge advantage. Nobody quite has done it yet. There are games within ecosystems that have done it and done it very well. No ecosystem has made it a requirement, for instance. I think it's only a matter of time before Xbox Play Anywhere becomes the requirement. And I think long-term, it's part of this grander vision of breaking down walled gardens. I think it brings value to you, the customer. And when you bring value to you, the customer, you win. That's what it is. If Microsoft's Xbox and PC gaming empires are about to converge, you'd probably expect to see store library listings for Xbox console games appear on the platform. However, I doubt Microsoft intends for people to see dead mobile games like Angry Birds Windows Store Edition light up alongside games they actually care about. If I had to guess, some of this is the result of database work designed to facilitate a future convergence between the Xbox console and Xbox PC gaming stores. It's just rather inelegantly cobbled together right now, particularly if you're someone who actively uses the Xbox app on PC. Jez Gordon early in the article admits that he's a PC power user. That's where he does a lot of his gaming. So it's kind of bothersome to him at the moment. Completely understandable. But I do think it is interesting. I think he proposes an interesting point here that this is them working on converging Windows and Xbox gaming together. Microsoft needs to do a ton of work to get the Xbox PC app up to par with the likes of Steam, cloud saves, library management, big picture mode, avoiding annoying things like user account control pop-ups, app permissions, and other annoying things really, really frustrate the experience. Seeing abandonware and mobile slop appear in my library is just a bit of a moldy cherry on top right now. Either way, I've reached out to Microsoft for comment. They've yet to comment. And then he poses the question, do you use the Xbox app on PC? I have used it. I do not use it regularly, no. I'm an Xbox console gamer first, PC second. And the reason is just that I'm a more casual gamer. I work right here. Where you're seeing this is where I work from my office 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I work 24 hours a day, guys. Bet you didn't know that. And so just sitting at a desk, at this same desk to game, doesn't do it for me. I got to get away. And so I've got a TV up in my bedroom. I've got a TV in the living room, TV in my kids' playroom, got an Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S. It just makes gaming for me more of an escape in that respect. Now, if I had a separate PC set up, I do have a gaming laptop PC set up. My PC currently is not set up. I'll go back and forth. I'll set it up. I'll take it down sometimes. But the last time I used the Xbox PC app, I would agree it's much improved where it was, but there's still a lot of work to do. Steam is the better app at the moment. So if Xbox can get it up to par with Steam, I think it's limitless, the potential that we can see there. I would love to know what you guys think, though. Are you PC power users? Have you noticed this? Do you think this is accurate? Do you think what Jez Gordon is saying here, that they're trying to merge the two and that this is evidence of that, is correct? Do you think it's just a mistake from Xbox? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Let's jump over to what is my favorite story from the weekend. And this is the Star Wars. Let me actually, is the audio on this? Let me turn off the audio. This is the Star Wars trailer from Respawn. It's Star Wars Zero Company. This is from Culture Crave. They retweeted this. It's a single-player turn-based game developed by Respawn and Bit Reactor, releasing on PC. Sound is on again. Releasing on PS5, Xbox, and PC in 2026. I actually commented on this. I retweeted a Respawn plus turn-based strategy plus Star Wars equals a game that I could really get into. I'm going to actually fast forward. It seems very serious. I really love what they're doing here. They're kind of setting up the story here. That's a lot of CGI. And then here at the end, they get into gameplay. And you can see here are a bunch of guys coming up and they're entering a battle. And now you're going to see, boom, you command your guys, you have them take cover, you give them a command. It looks like you've got a platoon of players here in the Star Wars universe, and now you're fighting in this turn-based strategy mode. I think it's very smart of Respawn to take Star Wars in this direction. Nobody else has done this. Ubisoft most recently had like their semi-open world. It was much more linear, I think, than open world game that dropped in Star Wars Outlaws. A lot of people liked it. A lot of people didn't. I know my brother, for instance, went very back and forth. Sometimes he liked it. Sometimes he didn't. Overall, I think it was probably a little bit of a disappointment when it comes to a Star Wars game. You have the Puzzler Star Wars that came out recently. Two of them, actually, from EA. Again, this is since from Respawn means it's also EA. But nobody's done this turn-based concept, and I'm fascinated by it. Turn-based combat in this top-down bird's-eye mode. In fact, let's pause it. Let me go for it. Let's pause it on one of these scenes, because what I would like to show off, what stands out to me here is this. Let's see if we can go. Like, it does feel Star Wars-y. You could, I think, really flesh out the correct Star Wars atmosphere. You can really give... But, you know, for instance, stormtroopers are going to have different abilities and strengths and weaknesses than a droid. Different droids are going to have strengths and weaknesses than a Jedi. And you can really flesh that out in a turn-based combat system, because each of those abilities are going to complement the other abilities or counter the other abilities. That really, in a first-person puzzler or a third-person open-world game, you don't really... You get it a little bit, but it's not as pronounced. Turn-based, third-person strategic combat really highlights characters on your team's differences. It highlights your enemy's differences, and I think that that's where Star Wars shines. Having those differences and having those abilities across multiple worlds really highlights, or is really the strength of a Star Wars franchise. So I'm excited for this. I mean, Respawn does fantastic games. Apex Legends, Titanfall, for instance. Titanfall 2, for instance, which we had rumors last week that Titanfall 2 it came out to be incorrect, or Titanfall 3, rather, which I would love to see a Titanfall 3. The Titanfall 2 campaign is fantastic. But I'm excited for this. What do you guys think? Because it is kind of a niche genre, right? You're taking this big, huge Titan IP that is Star Wars, and now you're bringing it down to turn-based strategic combat. That's a niche traditionally. Does this niche open up? Baldur's Gate was seen as niche as well, and it was one of the most successful games of the year, one of the most highly praised games of the year. Can Star Wars do something similar there for a turn-based combat game that is in the Star Wars universe? I think they can if it's good. I mean, if a game is good, it's good. And I think when games are good, it breaks down barriers to players who otherwise wouldn't be interested in this type of genre. Particularly if the story is really good, combined with gameplay. It's going to be very interesting to see. All I know is I'm very excited for it. I would love to know what you guys think, though. Is this for you? Is it not for you? If you're not a turn-based strategy guy, does having a big IP like Star Wars introduced into this type of gameplay, single-player turn-based combat, does this interest you? Could this get you into it? Could you experience it for the first time or not? Or does it not matter? Is it all about the genre? Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. And we're going to actually close. I mean, I think it's really interesting, but we're going to actually close on this story over at purexbox.com. And this is Atomfall. The Xbox Game Pass launch has done really, really well for Microsoft. It's been a huge success. Again, this is purexbox.com. Go check them out. I will link this story in the description below. During the early months of 2025, Atomfall was a very hot topic in terms of its Xbox Game Pass release. We were seeing loads of marketing for it and big info dumps as the game approached launch. This led to a colossal success for the game earlier this month, and as it turns out, it seems to have done fantastically well for Microsoft too. Speaking in a new interview with GamesIndustry.biz, CEO at Rebellion, Jason Kingsley, talked about how successful the game has been so far, both in terms of dev team itself and for Microsoft's Xbox Game Pass launch. Here's an excerpt from that chat. Quote, "It's been a huge success. Microsoft has been a fantastic partner to work with. They've really leaned into helping us. They brought their skills and their scale to bear on our small project, and it's done really, really well for them. So they got a good deal, and we got a good deal out of it as well. Again, mutually beneficial relationships are how good business is done, and it only benefits us, the consumer, as a result." The CEO went on to talk about how Game Pass and the conversation that the service brings has also aided in the game's wider success. Kingsley adds that, quote, the players he's talking about, then tell their mates on social media, I found this game on Game Pass. I really enjoyed it. You should have a go. Leading to more players from premium sales as well as those enjoying the game on Xbox Game Pass. Quote, at least that's our theory. We don't have the data in for that yet on one of the biggest challenges for a company like us is discovery, and Game Pass has allowed for a lot of discovery for our game. That is amazing. Again, that has been the selling point that Phil Spencer and the Xbox crew has pushed. Hey, Game Pass helps solve problems both for big developers and for little developers. It gives you an audience. It helps get your eyeballs out there. It's for me, how many times on this show have I said, on this channel have I said, the great thing, I don't know if this game is for me. The great thing about it being on Game Pass is I'll be able to jump in and check it out with no risk. There's no risk for me. And it means that I'm actually more lenient in my reviews for games that are on Game Pass versus games that I pay $80 for, or games that I pay $69 for, or $79 for. Or even if I really want a game and I end up paying that early access $100 for. I'm much more lenient on a game on Game Pass because it's on Game Pass. If a game doesn't vibe with me, then it's like, well, it's not, it's no big deal. I'm not mad about it because I didn't spend that money. Whereas if you pull a bait and switch on me and you show off something in your game that I'm really all about, and then I play the game and the game is nothing like what you showed me, and I paid $70 for that game, I'm pissed and I'm going to rip you a new one, right? And so it really takes a lot of the pressure off. I think developers, it takes a lot of the pressure off as consumers, a Game Pass subscription service in that respect, that if a game is not for me, it may be for you, it may not be for me, but because it's on Game Pass, I'm willing to try it out. I'm willing to give it a look where I otherwise wouldn't be, or I'd be a lot more cautious, a lot more hesitant about spending money. So this is fantastic. Good news for Xbox Game Pass. Good news for Atomfall. I'm hearing good things about Atomfall. I've not jumped in. I'm all about blueprints at the moment, guys. And if Oblivion might drop today, Oblivion remake. And if it drops today, I'm going to be on that for a little while as well. But congratulations to everybody involved. Again, I do think that this is what Game Pass is, the intent of Game Pass, I think is hitting here correctly. Would love to know what you guys think, though. Have you jumped into Atomfall? What do you think of it? Do you like it? Do you not like it? What do you think about games on Game Pass you being more lenient towards? Because you're not spending money on there. That's how I have been. That's how I found myself reacting to Game Pass games that I like and that I don't like. I'm much more open-minded about them because I don't have to drop dollars on it. I mean, I am paying a monthly subscription, obviously, but that's much different than paying $80 for a single game, or $70 for a single game, or $69 for a single game, $59, whatever the price point is. I'm much more lenient because it's on Game Pass. That's going to do us for today, everybody. Again, let me know in the comments. Hit that like button, subscribe. My name is X1 the Gamer. Love hanging out with you guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.